Here now is Texas Republican Jodey Arrington, who braved the weather of New York and this nor'easter.
To be in beautiful, snowy,
sleety, horrible New York. Well, thank you for being here.
It's great.
When there's no more money coming from Congress, what does the president do to fortify the walls?
Well, he's done everything that you could do with the limited authority that he has. He's declared a national emergency and utilized the military, as I think was the responsible thing to do. He's moved money around to the extent that he can. He's got 75 of the 150 miles of border wall, and he's also implementing policies like expedited deportation and keeping the detainees of illegal immigrants in Mexico, striking a deal with them. In fact, and sadly enough, I think he's gotten Mexico to do more to secure our border and to stop illegal immigration than the Democratic-led House, quite frankly.
So, Congressman, I presume nobody wants a government shutdown going into an election year. How do we move forward? Is there going to be a continuing resolution that just continues to be the continuing resolution? Is that the only way we're going to really get through this?
Well, I hope not. That's been par for the course for Congress. We passed out of the House a no budget, no recess, which is not going to become law. So there's no real forcing mechanism for us to do what everyday Americans do,
right,
and manage their resources responsibly. It costs taxpayers to do this start and stop, and it's terrible for the military. We have to find a compromise. We did it when the Republicans were in the majority in my first term in the 115th Congress. So we've proven that we can work on bipartisan funding legislation, but under Nancy Pelosi's leadership, we've gotten nothing. Not just no funding for the military and other important endeavors, but we've gotten no legislation, bipartisan legislation in drug pricing, trade deals, infrastructure. Absolutely nothing has been accomplished to help the American people.
Gary?
Congressman, I guess you've been in the House for about 3.5 years, and my general question, how frustrating is it that it seems when something does get done, it only gets done at the last minute? It just feels like so many there are working for themselves and not for the people.
I just caught a piece of your question, but of course,
how frustrating is it?
It is absolutely frustrating. I mean, when the American people say that we play by a different set of rules, they're exactly right. Congress is broken fundamentally. There are reforms for the tax code and reforms for health care. The most important reforms that we can do to serve the American people is reforming Congress so that it functions, so that we don't have these endless CRs, so that we manage our resources responsibly, and we have a budget, most importantly, for the common defense and the men and women in uniform.
We are, as you know, a business channel. We care a lot about businesses. Businesses care a lot about trade. They've been frustrated by some of the Trump administration's trade policies, but they're for the USMCA. In large measure, businesses are. We just heard that Nancy Pelosi says Democrats are still negotiating over enforcement mechanisms in the USMCA. Is it going to pass before the end of the year, USMCA?
I think it's going to pass, David. It's going to pass not because Nancy Pelosi thinks it should pass and that it's good policy for the American economy and our workers, our farmers, our auto industry. It's going to pass because she's going to use it as a political chip to get the votes for impeachment. And look, if that's the way we get it, it's good for the American economy. So we'll take it. But that's certainly, I think, her calculation at this point.
Zach?
So look, given the need of Congress to ratify the USMCA, why are you not in Congress exerting more authority over trade policy in general? There's been a lot of delegated policy to the president to do unilateral tariffs. Whether you think those are right or wrong, it's delegated authority. Do you think that really should be continued to be delegated to future presidents to do that kind of activity unilaterally?
Well, first of all, Congress has proven not to be able to accomplish much of anything. So I think the fact that the president did accomplish a great feat by restructuring a deal with Japan, which is our largest market for U.S. cattle, among other products, is tremendous and very, very helpful for continued growth after tax cuts and deregulation. But this one is not just tariffs, it's non-tariff trade provisions, which is why we have to ratify it in the House.
Congressman Jodey Arrington, I can't tell you how thankful we are for you making it through the snow and ice to get here. We really appreciate it.
It's an honor to be with you.
Thank you.